Welcome to the DCTV News at Noon program. I'm Kelsey Kiesling.
And I'm Kendra Cook. The Southwest TV Translator Association underwrites the news show, and Dolores County Broadcasting Network is the producer of DCTV.
If you have a news topic or tips you'd like to see covered, give us a call. The studio number is 677-4119.
Today's show is live on Wednesday at noon and rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m. and again re-aired on Saturday at noon, 3 and 6.
Coming up, prescribed burns, Silverton train shuttle, and more.
And also get paid for pike fishing, wildlife trespassing with weather and area happenings. Today is June 7th, 2017, and now the news at noon. According to the Cortez Journal, the Dolores District of the San Juan National Forest is proposing a robust plan for prescribed fires to reduce overgrown forests brought on by a century of ill-advised fire suppression management. The Dolores Prescribed Fire Pine Ecosystem Restoration Project would use low to moderate intensity surface fires in Ponderosa Pine and Gamble Oak Forests for ecological benefits. An initial scoping plan has been released and is accepting public comment until July 2nd. The 240,000-acre project area stretches from the northwest corner of the glade to the southeast corner of Haycamp Mesa. The goal is to burn 2,000 to 10,000 acres of forest annually to reduce ground litter and reduce dense oak and ladder fuels, which can lead to catastrophic fires. The plan would streamline the forest prescribed burn program by providing environmental clearances up front for a larger area. Derek Padilla, District Ranger of the Dolores Ranger District, said, "We want to clear out fuels, so in the future, if there is a wildfire, it could not be as intense." Prescribed fires for pine have been limited to boundaries in timber sale areas, but there is a need to expand the treatment areas because of the beneficial effects of fire are still largely missing. Pine cones require fire to open up and release the seed, Padilla said, and reducing the duff layer exposes a soil bed for new ponderosa seedlings. Prescribed burns under the project would avoid major canyons, pinyon juniper, and mixed conifer forests. They must meet strict conditions for fuel loads, smoke, temperature, humidity, wind speed, and other factors. To mimic a natural fire regime, prescribed burned areas should be revisited with fire every 6 to 20 years. The Dolores Ranger District is conducting a scoping comment period on the burn plan from June 2nd to July 2nd. For more information, visit the project scoping plan linked up on the DCTV News at Noon page.
According to the Cortez Journal, the number of violations for people illegally entering closed wildlife areas was down in the past year, but so too were the number of law enforcement officers and, consequently, patrols to find offenders. More specifically, the Tres Rios field offices had 1 instead of 2 rangers patrolling wildlife closures in the 2016-17 season. The Bureau of Land Management wrote in response to a Freedom of Information Act request. Every year, the BLM closes areas in La Plata County from December 1st to April 15th to protect critical winter habitat for wildlife. Signs and, in some areas, chain barricades are placed at trailheads to inform users of the closure. According to released documents, the BLM issued 13 violations to people for being in the closure area as a result of 13 patrols on Animas City Mountain. Some patrols resulted in more than 1 violation, while others didn't result in any. During the 2015-16 season, 24 patrols in Animas City Mountain resulted in 19 groups receiving a violation. In some cases, rangers issued only 1 citation to a member in the group rather than issuing everyone in the group a citation. Other areas, such as Big Canyon and Sale Barn, are also patrolled, but law enforcement tends to focus more heavily on Animas City Mountain. Historically, violations of the winter wildlife closure have been higher in the Animas City Mountain area. As such, the majority of patrol time was focused in that area, the BLM wrote in response to the Durango Herald's open records request. Rangers will spend 4 to 6 hours for each patrol on Animas City Mountain, whereas up to an hour is spent on Big Canyon and Sale Barn. No people were contacted during 11 patrols in Big Canyon and 12 patrols in Sale Barn. The BLM redacted the names of those who received citations.
Reported in Marijuana Business Daily, as Colorado's retail marijuana market matures, a growing number of stores are controlled by a handful of retail chain operators. It's a sign the cannabis industry may be headed in a direction similar to traditional retail businesses, where players like a Walmart or Home Depot squeeze out smaller mom-and-pop stores. In Colorado, chain retailers are opening more stores across the state than those entrepreneurs who are opening standalone shops. Roughly 9% of the recreational retailers in the state currently own and operate 3 or more stores, up slightly from 7% in January 2015. However, the percentage of individual stores owned by retailers with 3 or more locations has risen over 12 percentage points from January 2015, so that today nearly 1 in 3 stores is run by a chain such as Native Roots or the Green Solution. It's clear evidence that Colorado's largest retailers are getting even bigger. The 2 percentage point uptick in the number of retailers with 3 or more locations means only a handful of businesses are morphing into chain store operators. In short, established chain operators are becoming larger versus new chain retailers entering the market. Though the market is beginning to coalesce around a few large players, it remains fractious. Approximately 80% of Colorado recreational retailers have just one adult-use storefront. Smaller, independently owned businesses are able to persist based on the strength of the market itself, which continues to post record-setting sales figures 3 full years after launching. But inevitably, the double-digit sales increase will level out, and the retail environment will grow even more competitive. Large retail chains, many of which operate their own cultivation facilities, will be in a much better position to grow their businesses once this happens. With tight control over their own supply chains and the ability to leverage economies of scale, these retailers are able to profitably sell products at a lower price point than their smaller, independent competitors can reasonably afford. The parallels between Colorado's retail marijuana market and the traditional economy grow stronger as the former matures, suggesting that retail chains are likely to become even more ubiquitous as time goes on.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a county-approved plats for the Summit Lake West and Cedar Mesa ranches subdivisions bordering the BLM land on the north and south have language that dedicates the red-signed roads for public use. During a tour of the area Thursday, Tres Rios BLM field manager Connie Clemenson requested the county's help because people trying to access the public lands are being run off by private landowners in the area. She said the BLM is interested in installing a parking lot and trailhead off the corner of red-signed roads 35.6 and N, where it borders BLM land, to offer non-motorized dispersed equestrian and pedestrian use. We are not sure what to tell people because the plats say open to public use, but people are getting kicked off, Clemenson said. It's a great location for a trailhead. According to the Summit Lake West subdivision plat, road easements 60 foot wide, 30 foot each side of the center line on this plat are hereby dedicated to the public use forever. But because the roads are on private land, the language could be up to interpretation. Subdivision residents are concerned about the impacts of increased use on the roads which they maintain themselves. BLM and county officials said that if a mile of Road 35.6 and a short section of Road N were designated by the county as green signed roads, it would definitively solve the access problem. As a green signed road, it would be plowed, improved, and maintained by the county. County Commissioner Keenan Erdl pointed out that adding another mile of road maintenance and upgrades on Road 35.6 will cost the county, but he asked what the BLM could bring to the table. Clemenson said the agency does not have the budget for roads outside BLM lands, but if access on roads 35.6 and N could be clearly verified or changed to green signed, the agency could move forward on planning for the parking lot and trailhead access point.
From the Durango Herald, the Durango and Silverton Narrow Gauge Railroad plans to make a train trip more convenient for travelers coming from the north this summer. As of June 1st, travelers can ride the train from Silverton to Durango and catch an evening shuttle back to Silverton, said Christian Robbins, spokesman for the train. The train will offer the round-trip tickets through September 30th. For those staying in Ouray, Ridgeway, Delta, or other towns north and northwest of Durango, the new option will cut on the morning drive time into Durango. The train has 15 round-trip tickets from Silverton per day for sale, although it could expand the available tickets with a second shuttle. Thus far, the train has had significant interest in the tickets, and people have left positive comments on the train's Facebook ads, such as "It's About Time." As part of the change, the train will also offer a late shuttle from Silverton back to Durango that will leave at 8:30 p.m. for those who want to spend more time in Silverton during the day. A few people bought one-way tickets from Silverton to Durango in the past, but the train did not offer an evening return shuttle. Compared to the number of people leaving from Durango, the train is starting with a small number of tickets leaving from Silverton. At the height of the summer season, up to 1,200 people per day will ride the train. They expect the tickets will offer a convenient option for those who buy train tickets in Silverton for a same-day ride and perhaps encourage more people to spend the night in Silverton.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, as more birds and mammals give birth during spring, Colorado Parks and Wildlife reminds residents that newborn wildlife should be left alone. People call Colorado Parks and Wildlife each year to report abandoned wildlife or attempt to pick up or feed young animals because it appears they need help. Despite the well-meaning concern, there is no substitute for an animal's natural parent, and it is often more harmful when people try to save them themselves or through a wildlife rehabilitation facility. It's normal for adult animals to leave their young while they seek food, and baby birds are often learning to fly near their nests, for instance. Baby mammals are scentless in order to prevent predators from finding them, said Janet George, CPW senior terrestrial biologist. When humans touch these animals, they are imparting them with a scent their adults will not recognize or even fear. This can result in true abandonment of healthy offspring. People and pets can be harmed by wildlife as well, via disease, transmission of rabies, distemper, fleas, and ticks that carry disease, etc. People are advised to enjoy a quick glimpse, leave the animal alone, and keep pets away, or observe the animal with binoculars from far enough away that animals are unaware humans are in the area. If 24 hours go by and the parent does not return or the young animal appears sick and weak, it is possible the newborn was abandoned or the parent is dead, said Jenny Campbell, CPW customer service expert. In cases like these, call the local CPW office. The Durango Wildlife Division can be reached at 247-0855. And now here's our weather report.
Today we again expect to see some afternoon clouding and slight shower and thunderstorm activity over the higher elevations, but still nothing in lower elevations here. Tomorrow the center line of the high pressure system will have shifted enough to the east that higher elevation activity will not occur. So clear, warm, dry, and breezy, with Thursday being our warmest day probably, but every day through Sunday will still run close, and a southwesterly flow has the chance of elevating temperatures. Dry through the weekend and Sunday. By Monday evening, some chances exist for area-wide thunderstorms, so tune in to our broadcast Monday to get the latest. At least Monday and Tuesday will cool down. Widespread rain and strengthening winds are expected to reach the Pacific Northwest and Northern California on Thursday. The cold front should penetrate inland rather rapidly, with the center possibly reaching the northern high plains by Friday morning. Widespread rain with afternoon thunderstorms will continue over the Pacific Northwest on Thursday before tapering off a bit Thursday night and early on Friday. Temperatures will fall below normal behind that cold front. A broad trough has been bringing cool and unsettled weather over much of the eastern U.S. That trough will develop into a closed low over the northeast by Friday morning. Cool and showery conditions are expected to continue over New England today. Overcast and cool weather should prevail down the east coast, with showers possibly along the Appalachians. More substantial showers and thunderstorms are continuing across the deep south into the southeast and down the Florida Peninsula. Tropical moisture to the south is bringing heavy rainfall across southern Florida. That will slide off the southeast U.S. coast and intensify rapidly off the New England by Friday morning. The associated rain will gradually diminish over the southeast on Thursday, although showers and thunderstorms will dawdle over Florida. There will also be some scattered thunderstorms from the northern plains eastward into the upper Midwest and Great Lakes through Friday morning. High temperatures will stay in the mid-80s through Saturday at least, and there's a potential for a building southwesterly flow to push those up rather than down. But Sunday and into the next week they will drop is possible, so Monday should be for sure lower in the mid-70s. Lows around 51 until Sunday night, drop off by about 3 degrees. Monday night, another half a dozen degrees lower with the arrival of that next moisture possibility. Saturday afternoon is expected to be very windy. And now back to the news.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, a cash-based incentive offered by CPW and the Colorado Water Conservation Board encourages anglers to catch northern pike at Green Mountain Reservoir. The reward program encourages anglers to participate directly in efforts to remove the illegally introduced predators from the reservoir. CPW biologists say the presence of the predatory fish in Green Mountain is a significant concern. In addition to the potential impacts to fish in the reservoir, if they escape and take up residency downstream in Golden Medal sections of the Blue and Colorado rivers, sport fishing opportunities for trout could see negative consequences. If the predatory fish eventually reach federally listed critical habitat in the Colorado River, they would prey upon the state's endangered native fishes, the Colorado pike minnow, humpback chub, razorback sucker, and bonytail. To participate, anglers must bring their northern pike to the Heaney Marina along with their driver's license and fishing license. CPW will keep fish heads for analysis. Anglers may keep or donate their northern pike and smallmouth bass. For more information about the Cash for Pike program, call CPW Hot Sulphur Springs office at 970-725-6200 or Heaney Marina at 970-724-9441. For more information about fishing in Colorado, go to cpw.state.co.us.
The U.S. Army Corps of Engineers has given a water agency in Colorado's Front Range approval to build a large dam and reservoir. Water diverted from the Colorado River will be stored there, the first of this type permitted in decades. A $400 million Chimney Hollow Dam and reservoir is purposed for communities in Colorado's Front Range north of Denver. Currently, the Northern Colorado Water Conservancy District pulls water from the Windy Gap Reservoir on the western slope. A tunnel sends it to Broomfield, Greeley, Longmont, and Louisville, and other towns. Instead of going straight to those communities, that water will be stored in the Chimney Hollow Reservoir, formed by the construction of a 300-foot tall dam. The project will divert 30,000 acre-feet from Colorado River. The reservoir will provide a steady supply regardless of whether the Colorado River is running high or low in any particular year to meet growing demand. Brian Werner, spokesman for the Northern Colorado Water Conservancy District, said there's a population of roughly 925,000 that the agency serves today. It's expected to grow to 1.5 million in about 30 years, or within that 30 years. Because they are close to Denver and Denver International Airport, and we've got the Rocky Mountains in the backyard, concern over the health of that riparian ecosystem in those mountains makes diverting water from the Colorado River a little bit controversial. Gary Wachner, director of Save the Colorado River, said he has a team of lawyers poring over the Army Corps permit. In the coming month or two, the group is likely to file suit against the federal government over the issuance of that permit. Otherwise, construction of the dam could start in early 2019. The project has been moving through the permitting process since 2003. The concept dates back to the mid-1990s. Trout Unlimited, which advocates for healthy rivers and streams across the United States, is also concerned with impacts that the new diversions could have on the health of the river. It has taken a different approach, however, than other opponents, and Trout Unlimited forged an agreement with Northern Water. Contingent on receiving all permits to build the Chimney Hollow Reservoir, the agency said it will pay $2 million toward $12 or $13 million project that would add a channel to the Windy Gap Reservoir that would provide means for fish and other aquatic organisms, as well as sediment, to bypass the reservoir and continue moving downstream. This would help regulate water temperature during low-flow summer months. Other funding for the bypass construction is coming from state and federal sources. Trout Unlimited still needs to raise an additional $3 million. Melly Whiting, a lawyer with Trout Unlimited, said 65% of the flows of the Colorado River headwaters are already diverted by Front Range communities. After the Windy Gap firming project and another planned diversion called the Moffat Collection System project, it's expected that 80% of flows will be pulled from the headwaters. Trout Unlimited's approach is to tell water agencies that if they want to continue diverting, they need to pay for the mitigating the harms that diversion has already caused. The bigger picture is that we've got to figure out how to make limited amount of water we have available work for everybody, including the environment and including the fish. If we don't work together on this stuff, we're not going to survive.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, Mancos School District Board members unanimously approved a $4.3 million budget for the 2017-18 school year at the special meeting May 31st. Per student funding from the state will be about $8,570, an increase of just under $300 per student from last year, according to district budget documents. Board members also voted to approve an updated salary schedule for all district employees. The minimum starting salary for a licensed teacher in the Mancos district will be $30,820 per year, according to district documents. Teachers may earn more depending on the type of degree they earned and the amount of continuing education or training they have completed. The maximum salary for a person with a master's degree and 40 credit hours of continuing education is $52,445 annually. For administrators, the secondary principal and elementary principal will have the same salary schedule. The minimum yearly salary for those positions is $61,106, and the maximum salary is $77,906. For the dean of students, the minimum is $48,483 annually, and the maximum is $60,481. Hansen said the district was able to increase the salary schedule while covering an insurance increase at no cost to employees. Board member Tim Hunter said he was glad the district was able to emphasize teachers, and board member Monty Giles agreed. In addition to staff salary increases, another priority for the budget will be technology upgrades. The district plans to spend $44,000 on Chromebook computers for students, according to the district documents. The computers will be paid for through a state payout to rural school districts through Senate Bill 267 passed in May. The bill will pay $30 million in marijuana tax revenues to rural school districts, and the share for Mancos School District is about $167,000. With the purchase, every student in grades 6 to 12 will have a Chromebook, Hansen said. The Senate Bill 267 funds will go toward purchases of new wrestling mats and chemical cabinets, as well as an upgrade to the school's workshop and maintenance area.
As reported in the Durango Herald, backyard chickens aren't kids' toys. America's love affair with backyard chickens is a tad too intimate, and it's making some of us sick. Just this year, the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention says 8 separate salmonella outbreaks linked to contact with pet poultry have taken place in the U.S., sickening more than 370 people in 47 states and hospitalizing 71. In La Plata County, there have been 6 salmonella cases reported as of Tuesday this year, 2 of which are being looked into by the state health department for possible links to pet poultry, according to the San Juan Basin Public Health. No one has died in 2017 yet. In 2016, a record 895 people who consorted with fowl came down with the nausea, vomiting, abdominal cramps, and fever that characterized this infection, and 3 of them did not survive. So the CDC is once again telling flock owners to hold back on fowl interaction. That's not a metaphor. An agency study on the rise of these outbreaks found last year that nearly half of the hundreds of salmonella patients surveyed acknowledged snuggling baby birds, and 46% said they allowed their poultry in the house. As backyard bird husbandry has spread throughout urban areas where poultry has previously been confined to the dinner plate, many owners have come to see the animals as less food source than adored pet. A proposed ban on backyard flocks in Washington was recently scrapped after passionate opposition from chicken owners, supporters, and some city council members. But in a new advisory on the current outbreaks, the CDC repeats that cohabitation with poultry is not a good idea, no matter how cuddly and house-trained the birds might be. In particular, chickens, geese, and the like should not be in spots where food is prepared and consumed because their germs can transfer from feathers to casseroles and right into your gut. The agency's alert contains lots of other advice for keepers of flocks. Among the most important is hand washing or hand sanitizing after touching poultry or fresh eggs, which can also carry bacteria. But don't wash the eggs because cold water can push bacteria inside of them. Instead, brush or wipe them off. Elderly people should not touch backyard birds, nor should small children, who are more likely to get seriously ill from salmonella, the CDC says. This year, more than a third of those who got sick were under 5. And remember, even the fluffiest, most huggable chickens can be regular disease traffickers. The salmonella outbreaks this year have hit hardest in Ohio, where 31 cases have been reported as of May 25th.
Reported by the Cortez Journal, Colorado has updated its Open Records Act so that citizens can obtain government documents in digital formats that can be readily analyzed by computer. Governor John Hickenlooper signed the measure into law on Thursday. Senator John Kefelus and Representative Dan Pabon, both Democrats, sponsored the measure. The law updates the Colorado Open Records Act, under which citizens until now often receive paper records that cannot be readily analyzed using computer programs. Lawmakers also amended the act to protect security information for utilities and other critical infrastructure. Government agencies can deny electronic data for other reasons, including a lack of technical know-how or the risk of disclosing copyright or proprietary information. Another change involves texting while driving. Colorado's penalty for texting while driving has increased from $50 to $300. Drivers also will get 4 points on their license instead of 1 point per violation under a bill signed into law Thursday by Governor John Hickenlooper. Sponsored by Democratic Senator Lois Court, the measure comes after a woman who was driving drunk and texting on her phone hit and killed a Parker couple riding a motorcycle near Franktown last year. Athena Munoz pled guilty to vehicular homicide and was sentenced in January to 20 years in prison. Motorcyclists organized after the deaths of Brian and Jackie Lenner to lobby for the tougher fines.
And our High Canyon Country happenings, Firewise of Southwest Colorado is offering a chipper rental rebate program for residents wishing to reduce the slash from wildfire fuels mitigation on private lands. Residents in Montezuma, Dolores, La Plata, San Juan, and Archuleta counties are eligible for the rebate, which runs through October 31st. The program reimburses residents the lesser of $150 per day or 50% of the chipper rental cost or mitigation contractor cost. The rebates are also available to homeowner associations that sponsor a chipping day. Rebate forms are available at equipment rental stores and southwestcoloradofires.org. For details, call Bill Trimarco at 264-0430 or email archuletafirewise@gmail.com for more information. Rico is famous for throwing a huge 4th of July celebration that goes on for 3 days, and this year is no different. From July 1st to the 4th, the town will host a variety of events. There will be bake sales, craft fairs, a revival service, old timers community picnic, firemen's barbecue, softball games, ice cream social, and a parade. There will be log splitting and watermelon eating contests and live music by the Four Corners Community Band. Free e-bike rides will be available at the Burley Building. The fireworks show begins at dusk and goes to about 9 p.m. And of course, Dove Creek's famous Pick and Hoe 4th of July celebration is now in its 62nd year and recognized all around the Four Corners, particularly for the annual Pig Chase event. Volleyball, softball, and horseshoe tournaments occur at Weber Park from July 1st through the 3rd, and on the 4th, the parade starts at 9 a.m., followed by kid and adult games, a barbecue, and music at the park. The fire department hosts a beer tent while vendors offer food and other drinks throughout the event. Fireworks are launched by the volunteer fire department at Dark 30 from the old football field in town. To help volunteer or for more details, go online to pickandho.com or visit their Facebook page. Dolores County is always amazing. And of course, right around the corner is the Dolores River Festival this Saturday, June 10th. The event opens at 10 a.m. The gate admission is $25 or $20 online in advance. Kids 12 and under are free. Free parking and camping available for $10 or $15 per site. Well-behaved and leashed dogs are allowed. Music starts at 11, which is also live streamed by KSJD. Enjoy the river with all the music and friends. All details can be found online at DoloresRiverFestival.org. And all of these happenings are posted on our DCTV News at Noon Facebook page, along with the YouTube replays, weather and original stories, and local posts. To share your event or information, contact us. It's dcbnnews@gmail.com, or call the station 677-4119, and we'll be sure to get your news on air.
Thanks for tuning in. News at Noon airs live at noon Monday through Wednesday, then rebroadcast at 3 and 6 p.m., and again re-aired Thursday, Friday, and Saturday in the same order at noon, 3, and 6.
And be sure to check out DCTV News at Noon on Facebook. Please like us there and share it with a friend.
For Kendra Cook, Jerry Tope, and everyone at DCTV with the News at Noon program out of Dove Creek, USA, I'm Kelsey Kiesling. Thanks for watching.